My idea of the perfect day takes a bit of preparation, costs a few bucks, but it's worth every penny. It usually begins weeks or even months ahead of time when a favorite band posts tour dates online and one of the stops is close to home. Rounding up friends and mapping out the adventure comes next. For me, the perfect day involves attending a concert, but it's about more than just the show. These days are full of unforgettable experiences that bring out the best in everybody. Good vibes, unique food, great tunes, and the best company anybody could ask for are what make these days special to me. All the stars have aligned, my friends are free, and the day of the show has finally arrived. The group chat begins to ding early in the morning as the breakfast spot is decided. While the group argues, I get cleaned up for the day, and then it's time to hop in the car and begin the journey. I typically create a playlist to jam out for the ride into the city and crank it to 11 on the drive from one place to another. We arrive at the breakfast spot and get seated. It's time to get fueled up for the day and play catch up with the crew. During breakfast, the plan for the day is somewhat established. We find the venue on the map and find out exactly what time the doors open. From there, we look for the oddball locations nearby or any spot that stands out as interesting or intriguing. Record stores, arcades, other games, museums, art galleries, or any other oddity that seems like it's worth the time and the money. Once breakfast is wrapped up and we've agreed upon some afternoon plans, we hop in the car and head to the city. The passengers usually take over the radio at this point. We jam out the entire drive. On a perfect day, there would be smooth sailing all the way to the city, no traffic jams or car problems, and an interesting pit stop or two. One particular instance of pre show exploration that stands out in my mind is of a place called Scene 75 in Columbus, Ohio. This place was a blast. It had everything from arcade games to go karts. There was even a putt putt golf course and a few indoor rides. After indulging in some nostalgia at the arcade, we headed to the laser tag arena and worked off our breakfast. After we had our fill of games for the day and the show was getting closer, it was time to get near the venue for dinner before the doors opened. Once we got a little closer to our destination for the evening, it's time to scope out some quality food. Going to new places should mean trying new foods. My group of friends tends to avoid the chain restaurants and fast food spots as we all have spent some time working in those types of establishments. We look for the local favorites or oddball places that have good reviews or maybe one or two really, really bad ones. Variety is the spice of life after all. Getting a good meal in before a show is important. I personally have never been one to stand in one spot and nod my head at a show. Good food means good energy for the best part of the day. Properly fueled up for the evening, it's time to head to the venue. The perfect day would have free parking just across the street, packed full of other people getting ready for the same show. Park the car and crank the tunes. There's still a bit of time to kill before the doors open. Take this time to prepare for entry into the venue while watching some of the other people in the parking lot do the same. Some people look up set lists before the shows. I personally like the element of surprise that comes with not knowing what songs are going to be played. Some time has passed and it's finally time to head inside. That excitement really begins to build at this point as the group approaches the line to get in. You can almost feel it in the air. There's no feeling quite like walking into a familiar music venue. The atmosphere is almost electric. It gives me that kid in a candy shop kind of feeling that does not come from anywhere else. Showing up early means getting a good spot towards the front of the stage. It also means getting to see some interesting opening acts perform. Some of those bands can even end up becoming new favorites. The first step, however, is always to head for the merch stand and see what kind of sweet clothes you can pick up. Nothing sparks a memory quite like folding a t-shirt from that one show where the lead singer crowd surfed into the mosh pit and kept singing. The opening acts were killer, but the real show's about to begin, and the lights come up a bit so the crew can set the stage. You can feel the energy shifting. A few minutes pass and the crowd reshuffles a bit as people migrate to restrooms into the bar and swap stories about what's next. Then the lights begin to fade, and the first few notes prompt a roar from the crowd. The beat picks up and the crowd goes crazy. Mosh pits open up, crowd surfers start flying. Chaos feels like home. As a heavy metal enthusiast, I find myself in the middle of it, fighting for my place to view the show with a smile on my face. Screaming lyrics and shoving other fans is a kind of controlled chaos that never fails to be a good time. Of course, there is a foundational rule to these types of things. If someone falls, you pick them up. It's a wild place, but it feels like home. As the final notes play and the house lights come back on, there's always this bittersweet moment where you wish it could be a little bit longer. Sweaty, exhausted, and maybe a bit bruised, it's time to head back to the car, still laughing and shoving each other on the way. For me, the perfect day is one just like this, filled with good food, my favorite people, wild adventures, and my favorite music performed live. It's not just about the show or the music itself, it's about getting out and doing something special and making memories together. And if I'm being honest, I can't wait for the next one.